everyone, welcome to a new video, and in today's video I would like to talk to you about some of my beauty pet peeves. There are certain things going on in the makeup industry that I am just not down with, and things that make me hesitant about buying certain items or looking into certain items, or that are too much hyped up that I'm like, do I really need this? So yeah, I just thought I would talk to you about 10 different beauty pet peeves that I have. And yeah, I'm very curious as well if you have any different. Of course, this is just my opinion, so we are all with different people here. So leave a comment down below to let me know what are some things that you don't like, and let's just get to it. The first 3 items on my list are actually all related because it all has to do with limited edition. I think, and this is probably the first, why it was the first thing that came to my mind when I thought I wanted to do this video, is limited edition items that don't end up being limited edition. Think of the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. Think of, I don't know, there's so many products out there that brands launch saying it is limited edition at first, and then when it proves to be very popular, hey, miraculously 6 months later, it is now permanent. Either decide whether a product is going to be permanent or make it limited edition, but don't do this because it's just so annoying. And that brings me to my next point, because not only do I don't like the fact that when brands put something out as limited edition and it actually ends up not being limited edition, I also just don't like the sheer amount of limited edition products and lines that are being brought out. I think that that's actually one of the reasons why people got tired with MAC. And nobody really talks about that brand anymore, because they were just doing so many limited editions. And then Too Faced is just like churning out all of these limited edition lines as well that nobody's waiting for. I mean, that Life is a Festival collection, is there anybody still into that kind of stuff? Urban Decay is doing it as well with their palettes. And what I think that brands should realize is that it's overkill. There's only so much makeup that people can buy, and that also just really makes me very interested in limited editions in general, which is actually my third point of the list, because there's just so much out there that is limited edition, which then either might not even be limited edition, but by the time you've bought it, something else also rolls around. I really like buying products that are already part of a brand's line and that are there for a little bit longer, especially because that means I can look up reviews and that I can actually see whether I might like something, perhaps get a sample first, etc, etc. Why would you even have limited edition? I just don't get it. Now the next point on my list, point number 4, is one that perhaps needs a little bit of an explanation before I get into it. One of the things that I want to do is wear more colorful eyeshadow in 2018. Doesn't really go with this eye look today. I decided to wear a bright lip instead. But oh well. But I definitely want to explore more. I want to get rid of my, I just want to get out of that neutral rut. So I just definitely really want to try and be more into colorful looks for 2018. So far I'm failing at it tremendously. That said, however, there are a couple of eyeshadow palettes that have been releasing in the past couple of months that people rave about, oh, it's so colorful. And then I'm like, no, there's hardly any color in there. Take, for instance, the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette. There are 4, maybe 5 colorful shades out of that entire palette, and that's what my eye is drawn to when I look at the photos. And I think it was Thrifty Beauty here on YouTube. I think that's her handle here. And she named these the pop effect, or just a few pops of color, and the rest of the palette is just neutrals. Stop doing that. Either go all colorful or go all neutral. Now, a beauty pet peeve that I also have, and I think many of you will be with me, are overpriced products that just don't deliver. So my biggest regret usually are products that have cost me quite a bit of money and then just don't do what they've promised to do. I've tried face creams in the past that just don't deliver. I've tried so many other things, and I'm just, especially when it comes to like beauty products, skincare, I just like having affordable products that work. Affordable being not super duper expensive. So and especially because my skin is very sensitive, I find that super luxury or more higher end skincare items especially tend to have a lot of fragrance or perfume or other ingredients that my skin just doesn't like. They either make my skin break out They either give me a rash or they just don't do anything for my skin. So why would I spend more than what I need to in order to just get things done that I'd like to get done? Now, I think one of the biggest gripes in lately is what people have been realizing is how bad shade ranges are of foundations. Think the drama around the Tarte Shape Tape, but also some people who are now looking at some like drugstore items. They're like, why are there so few shades available? Not everybody is beige. It doesn't work. I myself fall more in like the fair porcelain side of the spectrum. I have trouble finding foundations as well, and I can only imagine how hard it's going to be to find a foundation if you're darker than medium to tan. Everybody enjoys makeup, and I think that should be accessible to everybody. And if you want to put out a new foundation, make sure it's all inclusive, from the fairest to the fair to the darkest to the dark, because those people live in every single country. And then also make sure that the shades are also available in every single country, because that's my biggest pet peeve. Some shades of foundation exist, but you can only get them in like this store or on that website, or it's not available in your territory. Like, what's that about? As if there are no pale or dark people in the Netherlands. They are. They exist. Please sell them to us. We will buy them. We will. Now, another thing that I think brands should stop doing is calling everything that shimmers holographic. And anybody who loves nail polish and who follows nail polish blogs and who's tried a few indie brands knows that anything that Too Faced, Catrice, all these brands are calling holographic is not holographic by any means. I mean, a true holographic is so difficult to do, and just because it's shiny doesn't make it holographic. So brands, just call it something else, but don't call it holographic. Now, another beauty pet peeve that I have doesn't really have to do with products per se, but what I see people do with their makeup on YouTube and Instagram. One of the reasons why I follow very few makeup gurus who do like tutorial heavy videos, like if that's what their channel is about. I like watching a few videos every now and again, but 9 out of 10 times I know it's not the kind of makeup that I like to wear. What I just see so many people do is over applying makeup. You don't need 3 pumps of foundation to cover your face. 1 pump is more than enough. Everybody, of course, can do makeup the way they want, but what I think that a lot more people should realize is that a lot of young girls are watching these videos and they start copying what you do. I see a lot of girls looking like Instagram makeup gurus, and I'm like, but you don't need that much makeup. You just don't. So that's a makeup trend that I'm personally not down with. It's not my makeup taste. Again, if it's what you like to do, then by all means, go for it. But I personally just think that if I see someone doing that, I unfollow them on Instagram and I unsubscribe from them on YouTube, because it's just not the kind of makeup that I think is feasible on a daily basis. Perhaps for a photo shoot, perhaps if you're filming, perhaps if you're really into your drag, then go for it. Do it. You do you, of course, but it's just not something that I personally like. Now, 9 and 10, again, are related a little bit. It has to do with makeup product packaging. I hate a gimmicky makeup product that I had, but in the past, so often, more often than not, if the packaging just isn't easy to use for me and it just needs like a lot of work to get to it, I'm now thinking of some of my Urban Decay palettes, like the pull-out like tray thing that the Allison Through the Looking Glass palette had. To me, that is just not workable. Also, the Heavy Metals palette with the mirror in the middle. It looks incredibly stunning, but it's just not very workable, and I just wish that brands wouldn't only make pretty packaging, but that it also works well. And that brings me to my final point as well, which is something that I wish brands would stop doing, and that's to make scented makeup. Too Faced, peanut butter, peach, chocolate, vanilla, whatever it is that they're doing. Tarte has a tendency to make their palettes smell like cupcakes. MAC has their lipsticks that smell like vanilla. I'm personally someone who's pretty sensitive to smells. I do my makeup at 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to smell that kind of stuff. I just don't. And, you know, I get the hype, and I know that, like, certain brands are very much known for it. To me, I just wish that brands would stop doing this, and that it's just about the product and not about how it smells. That's it, you guys. Those were my 10 beauty pet peeves. Of course, you need to take this with a little bit of a grain of salt. And I don't mean to be salty in this video by any means. This is just my opinion. This is just how I feel about these things. And yeah, maybe we're on the same page. Maybe you think differently. That's all fine. But yeah, and if you do have a different opinion, then let me know in a comment down below. And that's it for now. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe because I make new videos every single Thursday and Sunday. Hope to see you in my next video. Bye.